What was inside this 4,500-year-old pyramid, towering 480 feet above the ground, that made researchers send a robot and a camera deep inside a narrow shaft? The robot stopped at one point. There was a stone slab blocking the way. Researchers believed that behind this slab was a secret hidden for 4,500 years. Determined to uncover it at any cost, they fitted a drill to the robot and bored a hole through the stone. When they inserted a tiny camera through the hole, what they saw was a scene no human had seen in over 4 millennia. Let's take you back to Egypt, where a total of 138 pyramids still stand tall, having survived dozens of earthquakes and violent storms. Yet not a single one has moved even an inch. Among them, the most magnificent and tallest is the Great Pyramid of Giza. Its base covers 13 acres, a space large enough to fit 9 football fields. It is made of around 2.3 million massive stones, some weighing up to 50 tons each. Its total estimated weight is a whopping 6 million tons, equal to the weight of 12 Burj Khalifas. But the real question is, why were such massive structures built thousands of years ago when humans didn't even have basic tools? How were 50-ton stones cut into perfect square shapes, lifted up to 480 feet, and fitted without any adhesive? And who were the engineers behind this mega structure that still remains earthquake-proof and with all sides aligned precisely at an angle of 51.5 degrees? Let's begin with challenge number 1. For centuries, different research teams have tried to figure out how the pyramid was aligned perfectly to the cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west, without any compass. Experts believe the ancient architects must have first found solid land capable of holding millions of tons of weight. Then, they might have used celestial stars, especially pole stars, to mark the directions. No compass, no optical instruments, just basic astronomy and sharp observations. Challenge number 2, leveling the ground. If the 13-acre surface was even slightly off, the entire pyramid could have collapsed. But the engineers had no laser levelers or advanced tools. So how did they do it? One theory suggests they built walls around the area and filled it with water. Wherever land didn't align with the water level, it was chiseled and hammered down to match. Some say they used a simple plumb bob tool, 2 wooden sticks with a string and a stone in the middle. When the string aligned perfectly in the center, they knew the land was level. Challenge number 3, cutting the stones. These massive stones were cut without grinders or saws. But how? Experts believe a special plant-based chemical mixture was used along with copper tools. Since copper is soft, they must have mixed it with acidic compounds to weaken the stone. Then, after hours of hammering, the stones were shaped perfectly. Challenge number 4, transporting the stones. These stones were quarried 250 kilometers away in a town called Tura. Each stone weighed 50,000 kilograms, buses, and millions of such stones were needed. No animal or vehicle of that time could carry such weight, so how did they do it? Amazingly, the solution was boats. They used the Nile River, loading stones onto large ships. It likely required an army of 500 workers to load and unload each boat. Imagine this being done hundreds of times. Challenge 5, raising the stones to such heights. Once at the site, how did they lift 50-ton stones up to 480 feet? It's believed that the plan was set before construction began. Either they built a spiral ramp or a zigzag path around the pyramid, dragging stones upward with manpower alone. Challenge 6. It wasn't just about stacking stones. Inside the pyramid are compartments, chambers, and narrow tunnels. But what stunned the experts was this. The inner chambers weren't made of limestone, but of granite, a stone almost as hard as diamond. Even today, granite can't be cut without industrial grinders, yet somehow the ancient Egyptians cut it with incredible precision. Eventually, experts found the answer. They used a toothless saw, weighted on both ends, and ran it over granite while sprinkling abrasive sand in between. This method took about 4 months to cut a single stone. Now the question remains. Why was the pyramid built? How many thousands of workers were involved at the same time? And most of all, when the robotic camera finally crossed the stone slab, what did it see on the other side that no one had laid eyes on for 4,500 years? All this and more will be revealed in part 2 of this video. Thank you for your love, comments, and support. We'll meet again in the next part.